Hello and welcome back to Distant Worlds Shadows with me, Pew Pew Choo Choo. In the last episode, we solidified our control over some of the independent life inside our little cluster inside the galaxy. We're getting a little too big for our tank here, so we've got to move forward and take out the spacefaring empire inside our little cluster. Now that planetary tariffs are pretty much our main source of income, we're going to have to figure out a way to patrol many independent colonies with the least amount of ships. To do that, we're going to have to break the Empire's back, as well as fend off the rest of the pirate forces by destroying their gas mining stations, their starports, and their mining operations. Right now, I'd like to take the fight to the Empire's homeworlds. We're going to need a stronger destroyer to do that, so here I'm going to be re-equipping some of our destroyers with more shielding units and removing some of the unnecessary things such as these thrusters. Because ships have a maximum cap dependent on your technological advances and your colony/spaceport, we had to keep our ship below the size 300. I'm going to trade off a few thrusters for some more shield generators. Now that that is done, we will be needing a very large fleet to go over there. As pirates, we have no way of constructing cruisers or capital ships just yet, so we'll be relying on a massed attack filled with cheap units. It looks like it's time to start up a pirate flotilla to take the fight to the Empires. At this stage of the game, the Empires will be still dependent on their primary spaceport located on their capital. As soon as we take that out, everything should be fine. Once we take that out, the Empires will be forced either to build ships one at a time or reconstruct their spaceport. If we leave a single scout inside their homeworld systems, we should be able to spot this and eliminate it fairly quickly. Do bear in mind that we can't actually influence the homeworld of a colonial empire. With our forces assembled, let's start the assault onto their home system. Let's try to take out a few of these gas stations and various other locations to try to draw out their main fleet. You see that the enemy has quite an elaborate setup on their homeworld. They've got 4 defensive positions and, of course, the main starport, which also produces some defense. It looks like so long as we stay away from those defensive platforms, they can't do much. While they have heavy shielding, the amount of destroyers we have should be able to overwhelm them. As long as we don't get sucked into their tractor beams, we should be fine. Now that that's done, let's drop a few raiders onto the planetary surface. Like I said earlier, we can raid this planet, although we can't actually influence it. Because it is a capital, we cannot gain a colonial tariff from it. Although, I presume due to its large population, we will find multiple rewards on the surface. Now that that's done, we have a large area of space void of any major superpower. Inside this area of space, we can take over, put a few spaceports up, and put some mining stations to generate income. The empires will continue to try to regain their spaceport and try to regain their position inside the galaxy. Although, so long as we keep an active presence on their homeworld, we should be fine. It looks like we've gained some sort of advanced technology from these guys. Near this point of the game, we may have to rely on raiding to gain technology. As a pirate faction, our technological growth isn't as big as it was now. Now that the empires can build research stations, of course. Perhaps we should go and take care of that and actually capture some of these stations. It looks like there's another empire rising out in the southern cluster. For now, let's get our flotilla to come back to base, refuel and repair, and then take positions in some of the colonies to farm those tariffs. For now, we'll leave just one ship inside this empire's home colony, so that we can monitor it. In the meantime, let's launch a few more exploration ships and explore the universe some more. And in addition, we'll always be keeping a lookout for mercenary work. It looks like we found one mission that takes us back to that system. It looks like this empire is trying to put back up its defenses. While I'm at its capital, I might as well send a raiding party down to the planet. I also notice a construction ship without a hyperdrive. I'm going to see if I can capture this construction vessel. Now it looks like it doesn't really have any shielding on it, so most of my fleet has taken auxiliary positions around it. 3 ships move up and drop off boarding parties. It looks like the vessel couldn't withstand any more damage to it. Maybe the boarding parties were just too much. Anyways, we have to finish this pirate mission, so let's proceed and hit this gas mining site. While we're here, we might as well capture the Space Empire's remaining mining and gas operations inside the system. They don't need it anymore. I hope to be able to starve that planet out. If we get rid of its ability to produce any more spaceports or space defense platforms, we essentially neutralize the planet, with its only colony able to be influenced by us. We should be able to essentially fully subjugate, or rather contain, these people. The pirate flotilla is going to split up into various different groups and essentially raid the various different stations inside the system. We're going to capture them, then bring them back on to full power, and then essentially use them to generate more mining income. It looks like this empire is very stubborn in building planetary defenses. We're going to have to raid it again and hit it with some of our ships. Now that that's done, let's pull back our ships and reorganize our fleets so that we have maximum control over all of the independent alien colonies. Now that one of the clusters inside this galaxy is secured, we can think about expanding to the neighboring clusters. In this case, let's grab some of our fleet and send them northwards into the other clusters. Unfortunately, just as one empire falls, another one takes its place. I see this red empire has one of its colonies inside our territory. I guess we'll have to conquer them next. I'll see you guys next time.